Hey, this is Davon Christopher Johnson. Yes, all three names, Davon Christopher Johnson. I'm here chilling with Makadrez. There are quite a few influences to the reason why I started Bleu in the first place. The main reason was I worked in the music industry, I worked in the marketing departments of various record labels, and I often found that what we were marketing to the public was much different than who these artists, musicians, rappers, singers, who they really were. They were really actual businessmen, and they were into their projects, and they were knowing about their artwork, and they wanted to know the marketing plan, the PR plan. We only promoted the video side, so the video chicks and the gold chains and the liquor flowing. That's what we put out, and I knew there was another side to the dialogue, or another side to the definition of what it was to be an urban, black, multicultural, man of color, whatever the trigger term is these days. I knew there's something more to put out, so I decided to create a brand that did that. I looked to my left, looked to my right, from my right to my left, and I realized that there was nothing else out there that did that. Most of the other media brands and magazines at the time kind of put the same sort of look out there. It was the hip hop athlete or hip hop rapper or the gangster rapper, and that's all they put out. And I wanted to show an alternative. And we were 10 years ahead of this, because right now it's actually cool to be cool and be an individual and have your own way. You look at Drake, you look at Logic, you look at these different artists that now are indicative of what we do, as opposed to back then. You had to have shot a few people or been shot to even be considered for the cover of a magazine at that time. What's interesting, the last job I had in the music industry was actually a label that Atlantic Records had put out called Asylum Records. We had Mike Jones, Paul Wall, I think Boosie and Webby out of Louisiana. And we started that record label from scratch. And we first got our office space, which was actually the old Elektra Records office space. We had to order pens, pencils, computers, notepads, everything. So that 2 years I think I was there, that development of creating something from scratch and using relationships that we had from our previous jobs to get coverage for different artists showed me how to do something like a company from scratch. So it wasn't a hard transition. And we still are entertainment based. It's just a different way of looking at it. But we still have artists and rappers, and I still speak to and do business with a lot of my old colleagues from work that some are now my friends. But I still deal with the labels, just more of them, as opposed to just working in house under one label. I now deal with many different labels. Did I have support? So there's a combination. I want to say yes, because I don't want to offend anyone that says they supported me, but I didn't have no support at all. People thought I was crazy. This is 2006, 2007. We decided to launch this company, and we, I mean me, but I say we because there were people who helped. But we decided to launch this thing when magazines were folding. I mean, they were dropping bombs on Hiroshima. It was they were all going away. It was maybe 3,000 magazines had folded the year we decided to start. And I knew that what we were doing was unique. And I knew that despite what the industry trend may have been for print or media to be transitioning or print to be dying, I knew that our audience still hadn't been spoken to. I mean, we had Ebony, we had Essence, I think we had Jet at the time, and that's about it. So yes, on one scale, the media industry was declining, and print magazines were going away because they were speaking to the same audience. They were all speaking to either white females or white males. There wasn't a voice specifically for black men, and we knew that we can weather this storm of media, Armageddon, if we stuck to our DNA, and we've stuck to that DNA from day one to now. So yeah, it was tough and it was crazy. So my support system was everything in me that knew this was a good idea and a good sustainable concept. The biggest challenge has been brands. Sitting down with brands and trying to convince them that their product is relevant to this community of specifically black men. We travel, we do our own laundry, we buy household products, and It's not just, trying to promote to us do-rags. What about, grooming, or what about cologne? Men also get their nails cut. Like, what about hand care, hand cream? These are all things. The biggest challenge has been like for us to be included in the general conversations between marketers, and that's an ongoing struggle. And I applaud certain brands for working with us. For instance, Lexus is an amazing supporter of Bleu. Nivea also is an amazing supporter of Bleu. In addition to Gilead Pharmaceuticals, those are like our three main supporters, and it's been them understanding who this audience is. I didn't have to convince them so much. They saw me and they understood, and they listened to my pitch. Whereas other brands have been a lot harder to convince that this is a viable, real audience. They want us sometimes to be that athlete or that rapper that they see stereotypically in the media, mainstream media, and they don't know that we even exist. So I'm educating them on the consumer, I'm educating them on the brand specifically, and I'm educating them on the value of the combination of both of those, the consumer and our brand, and putting their products aside of it. I want to say that every deal or every ups and downs has been a lesson, but there was, a lesson that stuck out the most. Without saying the name, I had another brand, another magazine that was female focused, 4 letters, and it was going to be the sister publication to Bleu. And I brought someone on that I thought would help grow this brand. I had the idea, and I had already done the deck and the prep work for it, and I had some writers, and I needed a cool chick to help me, bring it forward. And I had someone that was working with me with Bleu, doing some publicity for us, and you've done a great job with working with us with Bleu and helping us go mainstream and get more of an audience. I would love for you to help me with this other project I have called Blank, and it's the sister publication of Bleu. And that person took that and took my trust and ran with it, and for all purpose of this, pretty much stole my entire concept and even stole the name of the brand that I created and pretended it was theirs. And it wasn't, that's not what bothered me the most, because who gives a shit? Like, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm gonna come up with new ideas all the time. It was the lies. So it's, part of the way they were able to get away with this lie about this being their ideas, that, Devon's not interested in it, he's never around. And it's like, well, no, I was actually going to grad school and I was away taking classes. So that's a different conversation to have with, he's not here because he's pursuing, his master's degree, he's working on this project, as opposed to, no, he was never part of this. This was always my thing. And you can't live in the lie. And it was tough. I was very embarrassed and hurt, and I was like almost ashamed about, I'm a pretty smart guy, and for someone to be able to dupe me, someone that I brought on, it's not like someone from the outside came in and pulled wool over my eyes. This is someone that I worked beside, and this is someone who had massaged the relationship enough to know my inner working, to know how I thought and know my schedule, and was able to systematically take something from me that wasn't theirs and push it off as their own. In business, you'll learn that, there are no real new ideas, right, in a sense, right? You either launch something or you improve on the concept that's already been out there. Magazines already exist. I didn't create magazines. I created a better platform, and I created a specific brand for a specific audience. That's the property, intellectual property, that's important. And this is the same thing. It wasn't that this female took the idea and said, okay, I'm going to launch a female, brand or a female magazine. She took mine, and that's the difference. I'm not saying that whatever else she may have come up with may have been dope. She could have called it yellow, orange, green, fuchsia, whatever. But she took the thing that I came up with. I didn't innovate magazines, but I innovated a concept, a brother-sister media platform. You're going to have Bleu, and you're going to have his sister publication, and that dream has never really been fulfilled. Blue's still here. That other brand, right now, I don't even know. I'm trying to think about it, but I do remember, and I'm always reminding myself to screen people better. And I hate that, because I want to see the good and the best in people. I present the best of me, and I do the best I can, and I try to make my family proud, and my friends proud, and my community proud. And I assume when I meet other people that I'm meeting people that are reflections of that. And this is the one time, and it's the only time ever. And I've been having businesses since I was 10 years old. I had a lemonade stand. It's the only time I've ever done business and someone has come in like a cancer and affected what I was doing. So it's not with regret, it's a learning lesson. They're all learning lessons, but I definitely wish that the universe would have maybe sent me someone different and not the person that came through. I don't want to ever be the person that said, oh, I could have did this, would have did this, should have did this. I've met a lot of those people in my life, and I really feel sad for them that they never got a chance to either become the greatest self or even learn the lessons of even trying it. The worst thing to be is someone living in regret. And I don't have any regrets about whether they worked or not. I used to own a chicken shop up in Harlem, and it's still there. We had to sell it after the first 18 months in business. It was really hard. I was in the back frying chicken and still trying to run the magazine and these different things, and I had to give that up. But at least I won't say, 20 years from now, man, I really wish I had a chance to open a restaurant, because you know what? I did it. It worked. It was a great idea. It's still there. I just had to sell it because it wasn't for me to run full time. So yeah, it's what keeps me going and motivated is that thing. I don't want to ever say, I wish I did, I should have did, I could have did. So something I think that I wish I was told in the beginning, and I would not have listened to it if I was told it, but if I was told it, I would have made adjustments, would have been how hard it was. And it's challenging, and it's difficult, and it's every day, we're trying to do something different and make ourselves, reinvent ourselves, but stay true to our brand. What took me 18 months to launch as a first issue, I had to come up with again in 6 months for the second issue. At the time, we were a biannual magazine. Now we're bi-monthly, so we come out 6 times a year. So even that, every 60 days, we need to reinvent ourselves and create new content. And I didn't know the other side. So I think that what I would tell people, think about your launch and getting your idea off the table. You have to get it out of you and put it into the universe, but also be prepared if it does work and it does stick, that you got to do it again. You got to do it again and again and again to keep it going. That's my advice. And we do something called the Connect Us series. I partner with a few of my friends that are also entrepreneurs, and we have a 6 series, and it happens 6 times a year, panel discussion where we bring other men of color together and teach from what we know, from the knowledge we know, but also we talk about our mistakes and what went wrong. So hopefully the next generation of business owners and innovators don't have that same sort of challenges that we had, or if they do have those challenges or they have those pit stops, they're able to say, oh, you know what? So-and-so told me about that, and I'm prepared for this challenge when it comes to us.